Welcome back to Cryptos Are Us. Oops, wrong. Welcome back to Cryptos Are Us. I am George. We're all George. So happy Saturday today. Let's talk about big gains. Big gains coming. Actually, you could argue it already came, but there is more. More for these altcoins. I'm going to talk about two, Celestia and Cornucopia. And of course, Bitcoin, as it just keeps going up and up and up. 40,000 right around the corner. So let's talk about all these things and more. Let's do it. Welcome, 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 guys. I'm just going to ring the market bell for good luck, even though it's Saturday. Right now, things are just looking good. Just really, really good. I mean, just look at Bitcoin right now. Look at how solid it is, holding at 38, basically 38.8. It does not want to come down. Okay, this is fantastic. We're just building and consolidating and waiting for that next bump up or next leg up. They'll drive us past 39,000, and then you know what? 40,000 is around the corner. No one dares to sell Bitcoin right now. I mean, that would be silly, absolutely silly. And many, many, many projects are doing fantastic today. There is so much enthusiasm, so much money now flowing into the space. It's all looking good. The gains are coming. But first, let's talk about Bitcoin. You guys know Bitcoin, 39,000, right? Around the corner from a macro perspective in the U.S. Powell, Fed Chair Powell, is still cautious with his wording, cautious about inflation. But as of right now, basically, there's not going to be any more rate hikes, okay? That's it. We're high enough at 5.5 or something like that, 5.25 or 5.5, around there. We're not going to get any more. That means we're going to stay here until he's ready to cut, which is probably mid of next year, which isn't too far off. Considering we're in December already, we're about to head into New Year soon. You know, we have that to look forward to. But the markets are looking a little bit calmer because of this. It's kind of out of the way. But of course, in the interim, the big thing that everyone is looking for is a spot Bitcoin ETF approval, which there's more and more evidence that it's going to happen sometime between January 5th and 10th. Basically, the first week of January. Again, that's about a month away. So with this much hope, of course, enthusiasm and everything else, right? Of course, no one is daring to sell, and that's why money is flowing in. And plus, let's not forget, it's December, Santa rally. That always happens. People are looking forward to this Christmas. So things are just looking really good, guys. If you look at non-zero balance address, or addresses, I should say, at 50 million, first time in Bitcoin's history. First time with 50 million plus addresses. Part of the fundamentals that I keep talking about keeps on growing and getting better and better and better and better. Even though Bitcoin's not back to 69,000, but the fundamentals of Bitcoin continue to get better each and every day. And ultimately, this is why Bitcoin is going to go higher and way higher than people expect in this coming bull run. And the last thing I'll say about Bitcoin is this. This is when it's a good time to be buying Bitcoin. So the first cycle sub $13, second cycle sub $600, the third cycle sub $10,000, and the current one sub $34,000, which we just surpassed not too long ago, and we're still not very off of that. But I would argue, yes, this is right, but I would argue that, hey, anything below our previous high is a good level to be buying at, okay? Until we pass 69,000 for Bitcoin, I would say there's still a great opportunity to continue to accumulate in DCA and HODL, okay, for that life-changing wealth, for that generational wealth, okay? So, it's looking good, guys. It's looking good. Okay, so Bitcoin is strong as ever, but a lot of money is now flowing into a lot of these other projects, crypto projects that some of you guys may have heard of and some that you may have not heard of. Okay, so I'm going to cover a couple of them that's been really, really hot and could get even hotter. One of the hottest L1s out there right now is Celestia, okay? They only came out they only airdropped like a month ago. They haven't been out that long, but they have become one of the hottest L1s out there, up 20%. I've been looking at this throughout the weeks. I remember when it passed $5, $6, and it kind of stood there, and then boom, above $7, and then boom, above $8 now. They are really, really hot. But the thing is, even after this tremendous growth, still about $1.3 billion in market cap. Still relatively small compared to other chains out there. I would say they're out of Cosmos in terms of the biggest chains on Cosmos. It's Injective, number 1, and now Celestia is number 2. And, you know, Injective better watch out because they just keep on building their momentum. You know what? I was a little degen yesterday when I went to bed. I'm like, you know, they're up, but they could probably be going up more. So you know what? I just threw a 10x right before I went to bed. And it worked out. 180% gain, and I closed it. And I bought it at high at $7.3 too. I'm like, you know what? Just for fun, let's try it. Celestia is hot. It paid off. But again, leverage is very dangerous, but it paid off for me, and I closed that out. I took, you know, I learned about when it comes to locking in gains, you just got to lock it sometimes. All right, so besides that, let's go into it. What is Celestia? What makes it so special? They say they are the very first modular data availability network, and they are also modular in general. That's just a whole bunch of fancy words. What does that really mean? What advantages does it bring? Well, this breaks it down. Basically, with any kind of blockchain, there's 4 components to it. So this is why some blockchains are slower than others, because of how they're made up. Like Ethereum, for example, has all 4: execution, settlement, consensus, and data availability, all within the kind of like one structure, and every single node on the network has to process all these, okay, individually, basically, every single one. But you know what? With some of the newer chains, that's no longer the case, especially with Celestia. They have decided to take the data availability and made it into its own layer, which then makes things faster. Okay, and basically they separate out all these two. Consensus and settlement, they're all separated into their own layers. Okay, which just means that they can multitask rather than having one structure where all 4 needs to be processed at the same time with all the nodes. Now they have separated it and made things more efficient. That's all that really matters, okay, when it comes to scalability. And this data availability layer, the best way to think about it is basically how you store and fetch data. That's what Celestia is just a gigantic L1. Yes, they are L1, but really they're for storing data and fetching data in a very fast and efficient way. That's, if you just want to like think about one sentence, that's what Celestia is, okay? But they have a lot of other cool features. I don't know if you guys care about it, but this is a cool one called Fallback, which basically they have this very tight integration with Ethereum just to make things always available as a backup. Somehow, if the Celestia network goes down, all the data actually gets stored on Ethereum, and then they'll pull it back when the network is turned on. So people in IT know this, to have backup or replication, right? That's kind of like what this fallback is with Ethereum, which is actually kind of cool if you think about it, because there are other chains that sometimes go down and then, you know, everything just comes to a halt. But with Celestia, they're kind of already built this in as a backup feature, which again is kind of cool. All right, who's behind Celestia? Well, Interchain Foundation, which is just like a standalone foundation. They have supported many Cosmos chains in the past, and their investment turned out really well. I read something about they put in like $100,000 or $1 million, and because of Celestia's rise, that has gone up to 70 million. So they have a huge stake in Celestia, but also they have big holdings in Cosmos, and they have big holdings in other, like even Bitcoin and Ethereum and others, right? So they're kind of like, I think they're like a foundation for investments, like investment group where they help, chains to get off the ground. So Interchain Foundation is one of the ones behind them, right? But overall, this is really it. It's a really new chain, okay? But there's a lot of hype around it based on what it can do, right? And they have some partnership as well. I know they have formed a partnership with Chainlink, right? But a lot of chains do that. But ultimately, that's what Celestia is right now. It just caught on fire, and it could definitely continue to go forward if it continues to go down this path. Okay, so that's number one, Celestia. But, be careful. Anything that goes up 20% in a single day, you got to be careful. Can it come down? Yes, of course. But, I mean, you look at it over the last 7 days, up 52%, up 252% in the last month. Definitely one of the hottest coins right now. Okay, so that's number one, Celestia. Number two, a lot of people have been asking me about this. Cornucopia, or Cornucopias, okay, which is up a staggering 51% today. Don't ask me why it's up 51%. No idea. It just is, but it's getting big now, 65 million. A lot of people like this simply because it's on top of Cardano. People in the Cardano ecosystem, they're like, man, we need some excitement. That's why SNEC before did really well, because everything in Cardano seems quite boring. And now you have this metaverse game, this MMORPG game that could be coming out to bring some real excitement into this space. Okay, so that's basically what they are. They are a gigantic gaming platform, but mostly, they're a MMORPG, right? That looks absolutely fantastic. Are they AAA? You could argue, yes. Here's some gameplay that they put out. So, I mean, it looks pretty good. I don't know if it's AAA, maybe AA, somewhere in between. But they're using Unreal Engine 5, okay? So just so you know, it's a pretty standard engine that a lot of games use. Yeah, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good, right? So this is what they're developing right now. This been in progress for years. I remember this back even in late 2021. I think late 2021 is when I started hearing about them. But in the meantime, while they're working on it, they're coming out with like smaller games that people can play, right? Kind of like this one right here. That looks pretty cool. Like mini games. A lot of these game makers, what they do is basically come out with mini games to get people excited, and you could still earn rewards with them. And then, when the full game comes out, that's when they lure him in first and push him towards the main game, right? So that's what's going on right now. I don't know when the main game is supposed to come out. It's supposed to be this year. It's not like years, so it should be sometime this year. I just don't know the exact date. But in the meantime, yes, they have an NFT marketplace already. You can buy land, you can buy vehicles, you can buy clothing. They have mini games to keep people, excited about what's happening. They did recently partner up with Neo Tokyo. Neo Tokyo has been partnering up, Alex Becker and Elio. I think they're the two, brains behind it. But they've been partnering up with a lot of games recently. Cornucopias is one of them. That may explain why they've shot up to the moon. But, here's an important thing that I want to make clear about anything that's built on Cardano. It just seems like Cardano guys are so hardcore, very hardcore. And Cardano guys only want to build on Cardano. Like when I talk to Crypto Crow, he's also building on Cardano. Like he is so gung-ho about Cardano. If he's building something, he will never think about building it on Ethereum or Solana or wherever. He just has to stick with Cardano. So I was looking at the team here, right? And just look at, like, all these guys have a lot of experience, but like a couple of these co-founders, they run the pool Grow Your Stake, okay? Obviously a Cardano pool. And they're all Cardano guys, but even looking at the main CEO guy, you know, I don't know who Rob is, but I decided to look him up on LinkedIn and look at what he put. He actually put, I was chosen as one of only 50 people in the world to test drive the Project Catalyst fund, Project One fund, right? Like normally you would not see anyone actually write that on their LinkedIn, on their resume, to like talk about how, you know, he was test driving this Project Catalyst fund, right? But that just shows these are Cardano people. Cardano people are just so loyal to Cardano. They just, all they talk about is Cardano, right? So with this kind of passion, hopefully this game gets done and then it brings some real, you know, real excitement to Cardano. Yeah. All right, those are two I want to talk about. Celestia and Cornucopias, you know, both of these are really hot right now. A lot of people have been asking about them, so here's a broad overview, but there's just a lot more to go. And just FYI, I'm just going to add a few more things that I've talked about recently that's been really hot, okay? Number one is WAGMI Games, which I am advisor of. These next three, I'm advisor of all three, just FYI, just full disclosure. But I have been mentioning about WAGMI Games because I met all these guys at the next crypto gem, right? And Scott and then Ian, they're both killing it. They formed a partnership with Neo Tokyo as well. Look at them right now, 136% gain in this last month, 68% in just the last 7 days. They are killing it right now, building momentum for their launch of their mobile game. They're killing it right now. Another one that I just talked about just on Friday, yesterday, I believe, or no, Thursday, is DeFi Kingdoms. And DeFi Kingdoms is starting to pick up some steam too. Last month up about 52%, right? The whole community is very excited. And I know a lot of you guys are excited too because you guys didn't know that they're actually a game now. They're not just a DeFi project. So they are turning things around. So I'm glad to see that and glad to see Dreamer get out there, be more vocal. And he's also part of the IFC as well. And the last one is, I got to say, Vulcan. Got to give a shout out to Vulcan Forged, right? Jamie has been doing a lot of amazing things on Vulcan Forged, right? By the way, these are all gaming projects in case you didn't know, right? Vulcan Forged also has a ton of stuff going on. They have a ton of games. I would say they're probably the second biggest gaming platform on the planet right now, and they're up 62% too within the last month. So they're all doing fantastic. Vulcan also has a fighting league that's coming out too. So I'm trying to see if I can incorporate IFC with that fighting league in some way. That would be pretty cool. All right. Just want to give a shout out to these guys. And then, of course, Bitcoin is still doing fantastic, very steady. The entire market is moving upwards. Very nice. Very nice indeed. All right. Let's do some Q&A. Good crowd for a Saturday. I know a lot of people are just really, really excited right now. This is an exciting time. I don't know how anyone cannot be excited. TJ asks, is Harmony and Stellar Network a good hold? Harmony, in my opinion, no. I'm off that bandwagon. They kicked out DeFi Kingdoms. No, they didn't kick them out. DeFi Kingdoms left. and others left Harmony because they were not treating them good. And Stellar Network, I don't really have an opinion on them. Raj is asking about H-Bar. Hedera seems to be the most crypto company to me. Want to know your opinion. In terms of time out, no. Like the length of time they've been out, no. But in terms of like having a console of these mature companies, then yes. I don't hear too much development on Hedera, but they haven't made big changes over the years, which is good, which I like. And Karate Combat is on top of Hedera. So, there you go. Why no stream last night? Because it's Friday. I never stream Friday night. Oh, to the moon. I don't stream Friday night, nor do I stream Saturday nights. I need a break sometimes, you know? Hey, there's a halving countdown on here now. The first time I've noticed that. 143 days, 10 hours, 30 minutes, 45 seconds till the halving event. That's fantastic. Today, what else is going up? Chainlink is going up in a big way, 5%. Thorchain, 11%. I'm going to do coverage on Thorchain. Don't worry about it. I know a lot of people have been asking. Near Protocol doing pretty good today as well. Arbitrum, Celestia, I already mentioned, 21%. Again, no idea why it went up 21%, but they've been hot for a while. IOTA went up 44%. I don't know what's going on with IOTA. They were going to come out with an EVM-compatible layer or chain. Maybe there's something to it. I'll have to look into them as well. But IOTA has been around for a long time. Long time. Already up 32%, which is the first token on top of Bitcoin. Ever since they got listed on Binance, they just got really hot. And then you got Terra, you know, still going up. I covered Beam on Thursday night too. Right? Beam is looking really hot as well. They're a gaming chain. Like right now, if you haven't noticed, gaming is starting to get hot. You might not be a gamer, but gaming is going to be a big driver of people into this space for sure. Games have potential to drive millions of people into this space, which we don't have enough of right now. So Beam is also looking very strong. Arc Block. Never heard of Arc Block. $10 million and it got listed on Coinbase. Oof. He must have some dirt on Brian Armstrong or something. That just doesn't happen. Embracing change for Web3 world. I don't. Looking for our old website. Why do I want to look for your old website? I don't know what this means. All right, let's go to the old website. The future of blockchain and dApp development is here. Decentralized developer platform that simplifies development, dApps, DLT, and blockchains. So it helps you create blockchains. Or no, it helps you build dApps, basically. Just to be transparent, just sounds very boring to me. So not for me. But I am curious how they managed the Coinbase listing with only 11 million market cap and no volume at all. 165,000, that's dirt low. So again, I don't know if he has something on Brian Armstrong or something. Will NFTs be a big driver? No. NFTs will be a big driver of people in this space. But as for drawing in just people from outside the space, I don't think NFTs are going to do it. It's going to be games and dApps. You need something to the two most popular ways is through social dApps or games. Really, that's it. And we have a few social dApps out there. I don't know how I feel about them. I think they're very limited in their use. But games, I think, could really do it. Because people playing games, they don't care about NFTs. They'll just come in and play it. And then they get introduced to Web3 elements, which I think is a new way to pull people in. Darwin gifted 1 membership. Welcome. Peep Playable. I think someone asked me about that the other day. 50 million on Avalanche. All these games are on Avalanche. I mean, Avalanche is becoming a gaming hub, basically. Someone asked me about this the other day. I'll have to look into it. I don't know enough. Oh, I just saw a Flux logo here. They're using, they're utilizing Flux. Can't say no to them, right? I don't know enough about them. I hate that name, though. Not a fan of the name. Quinn Developments, appreciate it. Do you like AR? Yes, I like Arweave a lot. It's my favorite decentralized storage play. Look at Solana. I mean, I haven't talked about Solana in a while, but they just keep trending up and up and up and up and up. I mean, Solana just keeps going up. But why this relates to Arweave is because Arweave is a storage backbone for Solana. Solana never built a storage platform. So they actually they partner with Arweave, and everything's stored on Arweave. So the better Solana does, the better Arweave does. But outside of that, Arweave is also storage backbone for Meta and Instagram NFTs. I don't know if they're even doing it, but they're the storage backbone for them, and they're their own L1. They've been archiving like the internet in general, and they have their own dApps on board. So I've always liked Arweave a lot. Why you talk nice about Avalanche and not Cardano? Well, I just got done talking about the most promising Cardano project there is, Cornucopias. Yes, probably the most exciting one. I don't know about the most promising one. Maybe there's some others, but right now, this is what everyone's talking about. Are you concerned crypto usage would trigger IRS audits? No, as long as you pay your taxes, which I do. So I've always said this. A lot of people in crypto wants to hide their taxes. I'm like, it's better to do your taxes now than later, because later you're going to be a lot richer and the fines are going to be a lot more than if you just do it now. Do it now properly. Find ways to deduct your crypto gains. That's the way to do it, rather than try to hide it. Because if you hide it and later on you become a millionaire or a billionaire, then the IRS are really going to come after you. How's my leverage trades today? Well, I got done talking about Solana. Solana is just killing it right now. Solana is killing it, 158% right here. Bitcoin's killing it too, 145%. Well, that's because I went a little long. You know, honestly, if you're going to play with leverage, don't play with anything 10x or over. Just do like a 5x or 3x. In fact, just don't play with any leverage. But over 10 is where it starts swinging wildly, and then you get liquidated really fast. But if you're going long term, which is what I did, I picked these up after the last big dip, and has done well since then. Bitcoin has been up a lot, and I think it's going to keep going. Solana's not going to stop. Even Cardano's joining in on the fun, going up a little bit, 73%. And these are small amounts, by the way. And Matic is 48%. Matic, I'm hoping to pick up. You know, it's been really stagnant. It's really, really stagnant. There's a lot of Cornucopias people. A lot of Cornucopias people here. Lights F says 7x right now is a sweet spot for me. Yeah, I think under 10x. Like, you know, I show you these, but, you know, I don't show you the ones that I get liquidated, which comes often, because I just degen into stuff. I'll tell you something that you know, that probably a lot of you guys experience, and this is why you don't want to get into meme coins. But, you know, it could come back, right? Like, I see everyone shilling Jesus coin. And this is an absolute true story. Everyone's shilling Jesus coin. Like yesterday night at right before bed, I'm like, all right, whatever. Jesus coin may be going up to 100 million market cap, right? Literally, this is the point that I bought some Jesus coin. Like, right there. I didn't even try to time it. You know, I just wanted to bet. I'm like, all right, I'm going to put some money in. Literally, 5 minutes after I put money in, it dumped 50%. This is what happens when you go into the meme coins, okay? You don't want to go heavy into it, no matter how sure it seems. Because up until this point, you know what? It seems like Jesus coin just going up. It never stops, right? Until it does. So, like, literally right at peak is when, right here, I put in a lot of money. And then it dumped 50%. So that shows you the dangers of meme coins. Whoever just dumped like half of it. So probably whoever created it. I'm telling you guys. I share my experiences with you guys, good and bad. A lot of times it's bad. But, you know, these days, we're all feeling good. You know, the money's flowing, right? Could be a little more degen-y, if that's a word. What is a realistic price point for Doge if it gets some kind of integration with X? I mean, I think it'd get back to the previous high, which is still like 10x from here. You know, it topped out at 70 cents. So, can I do like an 8x, 10x from here? Yeah, I think that's realistic. That's realistic. But if you're asking for like a 20, 50x from here, probably not realistic. Especially since a lot of the money has flown out of Doge and now into others. But, like you said, if there's some integration with X, it could be absolutely huge, and it could start pumping like crazy, especially in a bull market, right? So we'll see. Diego, hi George, big fan. Which city daily driver do you suggest between a new Corolla, Corolla Cross, or Prius? It depends if you want that utility. If you want the ultimate utility, the Cross is the best way because you get the most trunk space, most headroom. You can fit a lot of people in there. The Prius is not bad either. if you wanted the ultimate fuel economy, go with the Prius over the Cross. But Cross is just more comfortable. You sit higher up. I'm actually a big fan of the Cross, Corolla Cross. As for the new Corolla, I just say no. Like, it's just hard to get in and out of. Mikey, appreciate that. Jack says, Jesus coin will pump Good Friday, mark my words. It probably will, but not for the right reasons. Would you say Subaru is a good brand? It's not a bad brand. The symmetrical all-wheel drive systems in Subarus are fantastic, but Subarus use a lot of CVT transmissions, which are garbage. There's a few that don't, but majority of their stuff uses CVT transmissions, and everyone else has moved away from them, or everyone else has perfected them except Subaru. So that, I think that's the only thing holding them back. Man, I cashed out my leverage on Celestia. I'm hoping it comes down. It does look like it topped out. And Cornucopias is coming down, but still up 50%. Really dangerous to get in after a 50% pump, just FYI. But after it settles down, could be, you know, could be a good entry. But right now, yeah, these are definitely very hot, right? And many other games. I mean, like right now, it's kind of like L1s or games right now. If you're looking at it, L1s or games are the hottest right now. So yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense, kind of. Solana is still doing very well. It's slow moving, but still, it's almost above 62 now. Sheeb, people are asking about Sheeb. You know, I can't explain Sheeb. I can't. It's just, as a meme, it should be doing better, but it's not. All the bigger memes are doing horrible. I think people think that they're just too expensive now. I think that's what it is. All the degens that hopped onto Sheeb and Doge think they're too expensive or something. They should be moving a lot more than they have been. But again, in a bull market, things change really fast. Crypto Creme, thank you. Did I get my Coinbase account back? No, I did not. I did not. Is Web3 the next BTC and ETH? Yeah, you know, but the thing is, Domenico, BTC and ETH are both Web3. Like, Web3 is a very broad definition. Basically, I interpret Web3 as decentralization and focus on ownership. Those are two things. Oh, and self-custody. So all those three things are what I consider Web3. And Bitcoin and Ethereum falls into that. Games fall into it. Other L1s fall into it. DeFi falls into it. Like, literally anything in crypto falls into it. All right, guys, let you go. Overall, big gains coming for Bitcoin, which will get approval soon, and Santa Rally. And today, talked about Celestia, Cornucopias, but also some of the other ones I talked about, you know, like WAGMI, and even DeFi. Oh, man, WAGMI is starting to come up again. DeFi Kingdoms doing good. Vulcan also doing very good. I mean, there's just a lot of goodness right now, guys. You got to pay attention, focus, do your research, and hold on, okay? So, smash that like, subscribe to the channel. Ayrton Iran. Solana has something called Shadow Token. I'll have to look into it. And Will, thank you for that. But smash it a like, subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys on Monday, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. And look forward to my Sunday walk video tomorrow. That'll be coming up, same time as usual. All right? Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.